Many people feel stuck when it comes to this concept and this idea of God. So, today I want to talk about that. I want to talk about this idea of what Creator, God, the universe, what it actually looks like in terms of being able to break free from limiting beliefs and thoughts around having a higher power and around being able to utilize that higher power for the greater good of your own life and also for the greater good of everybody around you, of the greater good for your community, for the greater good of all those people that you're going to serve, and for really the greater good of the world. My name is Natasha Delany, and I am a business and transformation coach with Delany Enterprises. I am the founder of the Diamonds brand, and I am also founder of Indigenous Projects and Events. I am a Cree Indigenous woman from Samson Cree Nation. I am married and I have five beautiful children. And I honestly couldn't be as happy and joyous and free as I am if it wasn't for my higher power and Him being. I actually don't like using the word Him, but I just, for the sake of names, I think of my higher power. I thank my higher power for helping me become sober, for helping me to get clarity and self confidence and awareness every single day as I'm living out my life in sobriety. And I really have, the AA program to thank. I have my first sponsor who was a witch, a Wiccan, and I also have my own Indigenous ceremony and cultural spirituality to thank. Um, Not even just those few things, but the many many mentors that I've listened to on YouTube, which is the whole reason why I'm doing this. Eh, Since the beginning of sobriety, I've been listening to YouTube mentors from Tony Robbins to David Bayer to Abraham Hicks to um, Joe Dispenza, like so many mentors and gurus that talk about manifesting and talk about the universe and talk about the laws of the universe. And honestly, at first, it was really super confusing because growing up as a Catholic, growing up Lutheran, being raised in foster care, I did catechism, went to Bible study, and um, not only that, but as I moved to into other foster homes, they believed in. I didn't even know what kind of Christian it was. It was the kind of Christian where you go and they had drumming and electric guitars and feeling the Holy Spirit, and I really liked that. It was a lot more fun than singing hymns in the Catholic Church, but it still wasn't like, it still didn't make me believe in something. And so listening to these mentors and coming in to AA, where I had the opportunity to go through the 12 steps. And if you don't know what the 12 steps are, I can explain them in a second. But I had the opportunity to go through the 12 steps with a Wiccan. And for me, like, thinking that AA was all about God and very similar to Catholicism, to see a Wiccan and hear her explain her conception of God to me, I think that was really when my evolution and broad awakening of what a creator or a universe, whatever this universal higher power could potentially mean. And it was the first time that I had heard that you can really have your higher power be anything that you want. And so the reason for that being is because so many of us that come into AA, we have this conception that um, God is this God fear. Like most of us were raised Catholic in the Catholic Church, and so there was this God fearing or human fearing God, where you were gonna be spited, or disciplined, or whatever it was. You're gonna go to hell if you do this, 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 and this. And for me, as I grew more along my spiritual journey, and I started to realize that I didn't want to live in fear anymore. I wanted to go as much throughout my days, facing all of my fears, whatever that meant. And, as I continued along on this journey, I would face so many different fears, and they just never ended. However, my own self awareness of these things that I didn't even realize that I was fearful about started to come out as I was mastering each of these new things. And so I realized that I don't want to be in fear anymore. And if my conception of God or creator was fear-based, then I didn't want to have any part of it. If there was a religion or anything that was fear-based, I just didn't want to have any part of it. And so I started to gravitate more towards things that felt like, love, um that felt like ease, it felt like flow, it felt like really, really good, inside. It made me feel really, really good inside. And so I would, I started this, journey of getting to know what my higher power looked like. And of course, once you start to study different kinds of religions, different types of spirituality, um, I found that many of them had some slight aspect of a fear-based tactic. and and I was listening to, Abraham Hicks and all of these other spiritual gurus that were saying, like, God is love, and that is it. Anything else is not God. And so I was like, even just with that thought, I was like, okay, like, this resonates with me, this sits well with me. And so I would still go to ceremony, even though there was like some fear-based things happening there. I would still go to AA, even though other people would come in and they'd have these very definite ideas of what God looked like. And, you know, family members, in-laws that had this very strong perspective of what God looks like. I remember my husband coming home one day from hunting, and his brother's like, "You're going to hell." And he was like, "Whoa." And it was just a crazy conversation. Like, and it made me think, like, religion based in hating a group of people, judging a group of people, or creating separation from other people, that cannot be what God truly wants for us. That cannot be what Creator truly wants for us. And so I started to, define, and question everything in terms of what I knew about God and Creator. I started to see my Creator and my God as being anything and everywhere and within me. When I think about God, I don't think about man or woman. I think about the air. I think about the air that we breathe in the same way that I think about money. That it's a flowing energy. I'm going to do a series on money, and money, they called money currency currency currency. And it's just like an electrical current. It's just constantly flowing. And that's how I see creator, just like constantly flowing, just like the air we breathe in and out doesn't stop until we're dead. What does Abraham Hicks say? Until we're unearthed or something. And so, or until we croak. That's what she says. And so I started to think of creator or universe as being just this infinite energy anywhere and everywhere, like this conceptual energy that I can't even, like, I can somewhat see the power and like the infiniteness of this energy, but really going beyond what I could even think about. Um, but knowing that no matter what, and no matter what lifetime or period, life period, that creator was always working to me and through me to get me to this place that I'm at right now. You know, Thinking about creator being, even I remember being blacked out once for 3 days. I literally have no idea what happened in that 3 days. I still have no idea. I don't know how my kids got to school. I have no idea. There were moments that I was like, kind of like, remember like little blurbs. And then I remember coming out of that being like so sick and so depressed. But even then, in that space and energy, the creator was with me and I was never alone. And so for me, the the thing about my creator is my creator loves me no matter what. My creator loves me when I'm making mistakes. My creator loves me when I'm maybe not so kind to somebody because I don't know any better at that point when I'm doing it. Or my creator loves another person even though they hurt me, even though they did something that I think is so inexplicably wrong and I'm resentful to them. Creator still loves them. And so, once I was able to think about it this way, like completely removing all of the fear, completely just remembering that we are souls inside a body, and that as we are here on earth, this is the only opportunity that we have to feel anger, to feel hatred, to feel frustration. Like, we can't feel that way in the other life, in the life with creator, with this ever loving energy, God, whatever you want to call it. We cannot feel the same emotions that we feel, like the same negative bad emotions that we feel here on earth. We can just feel love. We come here to experience love, to experience anger and frustration and sadness and grief. We come here for the full evolutionary feelings that we get to experience here. We get to experience here. And once I came to this conclusion that we get to feel all of these feelings, then, and make all of these mistakes, and learn and grow, and be sad, and be angry. We get to experience this while we are here. And for me, it was an opportunity to lessen some of the shame that I had believed, that that caused, that so many of my limiting beliefs had caused me to feel. And the shame of just being a human. Like, so many of us are walking around ashamed of our humanness, and that's insane. That's insane. And so, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and say that whatever you want to think of your higher power as being, like, this definition, this way that I view it in my mind, It may not necessarily be how you view it. um, I don't need to do any more research. I don't need to know anymore. I just need to, for me, like my relationship with my creator is so freaking solid. Like, I literally have conversations with creator all day long. That's where I get all of my answers, even when I'm freaking struggling, which happens often still. Even when I don't believe in myself, even when those habits of the old limiting beliefs come up, um, those younger versions of myself that weren't heard. Even when that happens, I I know that creator is with me. I know that I'm experiencing the thought and the feeling, um, and I'm feeling that darkness so that I can evolve and expand and change and grow. And I'm infinitely grateful for that. So these episodes are going to be coming on every Sunday. I'm super excited and stoked for that. Not only that, but I will be talking about the Diamonds brand, the Diamonds Mastermind for Indigenous women entrepreneurs. I will be talking about spirituality. I will be talking about business. I'll be talking about entrepreneurship. And I'll be, interviewing the Diamonds Mastermind participants and other amazing Indigenous entrepreneurs. I will be talking about my personal journey and my stories. And, I'll be talking about money mindset and business growth, business strategies, anything and everything that I just love talking about. We're going to talk about, you're going to hear about it. So come back and press subscribe to get the next episode.